is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is. I figured it out too, which is pretty good.
Good job, Big O. You figured it. Push the right button.
Yes, I'm trying, bro. I'm playing producer and host today. How you feeling on a beautiful Saturday? You dry out there?
No, I'm in Miami Lakes, very close to the Miami Lakes location of the Sports Grill, and it has been yucky all morning. As I look out my window, it is actually not raining at the moment, but it's been raining all day. There's some puddles in the street. Just nasty stuff.
Yeah, I just had some nasty thunder about a half hour ago come through here, man. That was dogs were freaking out. I can hear them barking in the distance and all that stuff. All right, so this week, your thoughts on what you saw this week so far with the team, because obviously there's a lot of reaction up and down and everything, and reacting on one pass after another, which is kind of crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, really, what happened? Did I miss something? No, and if you take away those two long completions, the much talked about long completions from Tua to Tyreek Hill, not a whole lot happening for the offense. And the practice Thursday featured the most 11-on-11 work I can recall in a long, long time for an offseason practice. Normally, there's a lot of position stuff, and they break up, and then they do 11-on-11. They go back to position. This one is once they start 11-on-11. I mean, they went a long time. The only thing they stopped for was Jason Sanders kicking 7 field goals, made all of them, including one from 53. But a whole lot of 11-on-11 work, and not a whole lot doing by the offense. A lot of check downs. There were. And it was, I would tell you, like in the two practices, I can't say that there was one quarterback who really shined. I mean, Tua had the 2 highlight plays, but outside of that, he was 7 for 11. I actually tracked every one of his throws. He was 7 for 11 both days. And on the day we had the 2 long completions, he also had 3 checkdowns. He had a little flare in the flat to Tyreek Hill, and then he had a nice 5-yard touchdown pass on a slant to Tyreek again. But outside of that, yeah, not strong work by the offense, if we're going to be honest, in terms of the passing game and what was accomplished.
Although I don't think this is one of those offenses that goes downfield a ton. It's kind of more working in a box and kind of moving you along the way and then suckering you into a deep play or two. I think that's kind of what it is. It's really it's an offense where you're kind of allowing your weapons to go out and make some plays, because you're trying to create mismatches out there the way he runs that offense. And so that's kind of the way they so I would imagine that's why you saw a lot of short stuff. I mean, that's kind of what it was.
But a lot of short stuff wasn't by design. It was like they were looking downfield, whether it be Tua, Teddy Bridgewater, or Skylar Thompson, and they couldn't find anything, and then they would check down late in the play. So it wasn't necessarily by design. But to your point, San Francisco led the NFL in YAC last year, in YAC average. So that's
too is
well, correct. Well, and Tyreek Hill is not that bad. Because so far of the 4 practices I've seen, if you ask me, what's the biggest, most vivid impression I've gotten is, Jesus Christ, Tyreek Hill is fast. I mean, that's
everybody says that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing but the thing, you can see him in a game, and now you have him right in front of you at practice. I mean, it's I don't want to say he makes Jalen Waddle look slow, but he almost makes Jalen Waddle look slow. I mean, that guy's got some beeps on him like crazy. Here's the thing, though. I want to. If you're not going to ask me, I'm gonna bring it up. And in fact,
go ahead. I eventually, I'm sure I'm going to ask you, but go ahead.
Okay, because I just posted something I had written at the time when the Dolphins put out that video where Tua underthrew Tyreek Hill a little bit. Okay. First of all, the notion that Tua can complete a deep pass is so stupid. It's completely ridiculous, and that should have been, by the way. And I'm not.
You have a shitload of people that are convinced he can't throw a deep ball.
It's ridiculous, and I'm not breaking any news by saying I'm not necessarily.
He threw a 50-yarder. He threw a 50-yarder last year with fractured ribs and a fractured finger. Come on, dude. I mean, give me a break.
No, but to me, again, That question should have been answered. First of all, he wouldn't be in the NFL if he couldn't complete a 50-yard pass. Let's put number one. Number two, as a rookie, he threw a perfect pass to Jakeem Grant, was like 55 yards downfield. Jakeem dropped it, but that's beside the point. It was a perfect pass. So that the question with arm strength and all that, and I don't know why, like I like Tua standing up for himself. That's great and make for a great soundbite and all that. But I don't know where he feels the need. The question about arm strength isn't so much about you can't complete a deep pass. Yes, he can complete a deep pass. There's no question about it. And it's not because he just hit one in practice that all of a sudden, yes, he can, or he underthrew one. No, he can't. That's ridiculous. The notion of arm strength is more with the play breaks down, he's scrambling. Can he get zip on the ball on the move when his feet aren't set? Can he zip it between defenders if the window's tight? Can he get it to the sideline on a line if there's a DB close by so where he can't jump it and intercept it? That's what the question of arm strength is, not the ability to throw a deep pass. The Dolphins are not going to live off of that anyway. And Tua, yes, absolutely, without question, is able to complete that pass if Tyreek Hill gets behind the defense the way he didn't practice.
Sure. Of course. Now, like anything, okay, because he's a shorter quarterback and he's not a 6'5" strapper, he is going to have to use the base of his body. Okay, so what he's going to need is a line that actually blocks, and he's going to need a running game that keeps those linebackers a little bit more honest. And then that will allow him at times to roll out and buy some time and be able to set and throw. But unfortunately, in the situation that he has been in, he's constantly pressured. People are on top of him. And so if you're on top of him, he's not the kind of quarterback that has the physicality that Ben Roethlisberger has. When you're draped on him, he's still throwing, a 30-yard rope. That's not him, dude.
No, correct. Him. But also, let's understand that last year the Dolphins saw what they had, and they tailored their passing game to like a lot of quick, short stuff because A, Tua was very good at it, and B, the offensive line wasn't great. Right. So, and for there were a lot of games they were successful with it. The problem is, can you make a living entirely off of that? No. At some point, something else needs to happen, and this is what we need to see.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And you're not convinced he can do those things?
No, I'm not convinced he can do those things. I'm not convinced he can. Bad weather is a concern, and then the big money games also is a concern. Those are things I haven't seen yet, and until I see it, I'm going to remain skeptical.
Okay. When we look at the offense, now we could talk about it now that Connor talked about it and playing center. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's permanent, or do you think it's still an experiment that could change by the time training camp and preseason rolls around?
Yeah, I would write it in pencil, not necessarily in pen. It's too early. There's plenty of time left. JC Treader is still lurking out there as a possibility that I would not eliminate until he signs with somebody else or he says I'm retiring. The latter I'm not expecting, but until he signs with somebody else, I would not dismiss that possibility. And again, this is OTAs, not the same as training camp. When the pads come on, it's little bit of a different ball game. Obviously, preseason is a different ball game, regular season, and so forth. I think they're taking a look, seeing what they have, what he can do, and whether it could be a fit if they decide to go that route.
Yeah, that's to me. I think also that I think it's an experiment still, because he hasn't snapped well, right? He hasn't been consistent on the snapping. He's had some issues, correct?
There was one high shotgun snap by a certain center during practice Wednesday.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, because I was told he had a couple of them actually. I didn't see a couple of them. I was told there were a couple that day. It was only the high one. There was another one also. Supposedly, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe you saw every one of them, so it wasn't. Not true?
I watched every single solitary 11-on-11 play. I saw one.
Okay. All right. Like 3 days ago is the one we're talking about. The first day, right?
Wednesday, yeah, correct. The first day.
Okay. All right. So I look at it as an experiment. So we got to start talking about left and right guard. So Hunt still looks like the right. What's it look like on the left side? If you could talk about it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think based on media reporting rules, well, we know
You can,
Teron Armstead's going to be the left tackle.
right?
So that would
Okay.
leave if Connor Williams has been working at center as Mike McDaniel confirmed and as Connor Williams confirmed,
Right.
then that leaves at left guard Liam Eichenberg, possibly Dieter going back to guard, even though I don't know how likely that would be, or perhaps Solomon Kindley. Um,
Omar said that he did not lose weight. He did not, huh? Wow.
there was one play where he was out in space, and I kind
Somebody
of
was reporting a couple months ago that he was working on his weight loss and all that kind of stuff. And I said, oh, smart, because in this scheme, you got to be able to move some.
yeah, I
Oh, what a
did not see great movement on one play. I noticed him one play. He was out in space, and the movement, it was like, woof. Yeah.
What a shame, dude. He's going to eat his way out of the damn league. He's got ability. You can tell he has ability. Like, you can see that the kid can move. He has athleticism. Damn, bro. Wow. I
Or he
thought
needs
he
to
got
go
it.
to a team.
I forgot which one of you guys wrote a story about him losing weight and that he was working on it. What a shame. So
It wasn't me. It wasn't me who wrote that story. It may be that he needs to play on a team with the power scheme where he remains in a booth, because I think if he has to go out in space, he's gonna have problems.
that's it. That's it. You're right. You're right. That's probably what he's a mauler, and you can't have him in he has to play in that phone booth like you said.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably who he is, because he's going to struggle with the weight, and you've got to be a lighter lineman on this one. All right. There's really nothing that you're going to tell me on the lines, because there isn't pads and they're not really hitting. So on the perimeter outside of Tyreek Hill, what else has stood out to you, corner or wide receiver?
I would tell you that, not like he's gotten a pick or anything like that. I like Noah's body language, his demeanor, the way he's moving. Looks to me, judging from the bleachers where I'm watching practice, and might be completely stupid to say, but he looks to me like a guy who's more sure of what he's doing than in the past, where he looked a little bit lost. And I know if fans are going to dump on him because he was on the bad end of the one highlight the Dolphins put out there on Thursday where he got beat long by Tyreek Hill, understand that he was covering him one-on-one on the outside. Good luck to any quarterback in the NFL doing that.
Correct. No one's going to do that.
Correct. So, but
it's also, just like, and dude, it's the same shit with Stephon Diggs. You're effing through the kid out there as a rookie against one of the 5 best route runners in the NFL. He's not just a receiver. Correct. He is one of the most elite route runners there is in the NFL. You got to really know that guy in order to cover him. You got to be an elite corner that has been in the league forever and has seen everything, and you have to study him the right way. That dude is special when it comes to running routes and getting open. And, you know, we roast that kid when, you know, that's just unfair. That's like, you know, that's like throwing me in the ring with Tyson Fury and saying, all right, oh, have at it. Let's go. Let's see what you can do with the big guy. And it's like, what? You know, come on. And that's, you know, I think we've been completely unfair with that kid. I really do.
Well, that was his second NFL game, if you remember, too. So, I mean, that was tough. But I'm telling you, I don't want to get overly excited. It's June again. But from where I sit, I think I'm allowing myself to be optimistic that maybe he could be the guy who grabs that 4th cornerback spot.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool. I mean, the best thing that could happen this season is that Jones or X has to go out for a week or 2 with a little bit of an ankle injury, whatever. The kid steps in and plays lights out, and then people could start to feel good and say, oh, okay, this is what they saw in him. Okay, fine. And that's what and I just say a game because you really want Jones and X to be out there the whole damn year, obviously, because those are your elite corners. But yeah, you want to see him get that opportunity, and it's good for him too. He needs to have a little personal success also, because that's going to help his confidence, and that'll be amazing. So that's nice to hear that that Noah looks like, at least right now, that mentally and physically, he looks like at least he knows what he's doing out there, which is cool.
Correct. No, he doesn't look over a match whereas he did before in practice. And the other thing, too, that helps is that he's getting a lot of reps because Byron Jones isn't practicing because he's recovering from surgery, and X is not doing team drills.
Right.
So
yeah.
he's getting a lot of reps.
You don't need those guys there anyways. No. Let him relax. It's like Teron Armstead. Like, dude, go rap. Go relax, bro. Go take it easy. We'll see you later, bro. Training camp. That's why. You think the Treader thing is still alive, huh? You think there's a chance, huh?
I certainly wouldn't dismiss it. I mean, they have the cap space. Yeah. If they come to decide either Connor's not good enough at center or we don't like the options at left guard, makes perfect sense. I mean, it's not like they're not playing to win big in 2022. So I certainly could see them revisiting.
Treader, Connor, and Armstead. Wow.
Becomes your left side then.
Wow, that's like that would be, and for Tua to have a veteran, experienced, proven center.
Mm-hmm.
My Lord, that is gold for that young man to have something like that. Something he hasn't had. He hasn't had a center that is like one of the best in the league and knows everything that's coming. And the second he lines up, he already knows, changes the coverages, helps Tua. I mean, you hear the stories of Stevenson with Marino, and it's, it's like, he's blocking one guy, and then with the left hand, he gets another one. He just jams it in some guy's chest and puts him on his ass and buys Dan that other half second to find Clayton downfield. And it's like he never got the credit for the pass. It's just Marino getting all the glory, and Clayton or Duper, and there's the center. So for me, we've seen it before. It's been a long time, but if that kid can get a great center there, Treader would be awesome.
Pouncey was very good too, but since Pouncey, it's been like one after the other.
Yeah. Pouncey was a good pick. Yeah. Sadly, Pouncey had all the injury history, and that's the only thing. But he was a hell of a player. There's no doubt about that. All right, what are you working on, Sports Illustrated, my friend, so folks can check you out?
It's the weekend, so it's the mailbag. Gonna have one today, got one tomorrow. Very good questions all over the place, different topics. So encourage, and there'll be probably another story or two at both days. So si.com/NFL/Dolphins or alldolphins.com.
There you go. And follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL and subscribe to the Sports Illustrated page of the Dolphins. Thank you, sir. We'll catch up next week.
Stay dry, my friend.
There you go. You too, my friend. Stay safe. L'Expose.